Welcome to week 2 of 52 weeks of wellness. I'm actually giving this to you guys a week early, so along with week 1. So you can choose to either start it a week early or you can choose and do it one week at a time and do this next week. So our focus this week is going to be sugar, mainly refined sugar, getting it completely out of our bodies. So first the why, then the how. Why eliminate refined sugar? Well, I guess first, what is refined sugar? Refined sugar is anything white or processed versions of sugar, anything that doesn't naturally occur in nature. So the sugar that you use when you bake, that's refined sugar. It's in all kinds of stuff. It's in, corn syrups and, it's in all kinds of processed foods. So that sugar, brown sugar, is still a refined sugar too, even though it's not white, but it's still the same thing. So that's refined sugar. So it's in all kinds of things, and it really has a huge negative impact on your immune system. Your immune system, which is your ability to fight disease, to be well, to not be sick, to not get sick. If you have kids, I promise you'll see a massive difference, severely reducing or eliminating refined sugars from their life, with exception maybe special occasions. Refined sugars also are linked to, they really pose a big challenge when we're trying to make any kind of dietary goals, because they mess with the body's insulin production. So they mess with your blood sugars. So even if you're not to the point where you're a person who struggles with diabetes, they still have really detrimental effects on a person's mood. So when your blood sugars are jumping up and down, you can be very moody. They have a big effect on your energy level, whether or not you can fall asleep well, whether or not you can wake up well. Sugar is a culprit of so many problems. And with the holidays, and everybody's been guilty of it, including me, I'm sure there was way more sugar flowing than we'd like to admit. So getting off the sugar is going to be one of the biggest things you can do to start this whole year off, would be to get off the refined sugar. What I'm going to show you how to do is an easier way to do it than your conventional just cut out all sugar. There are a lot generally of withdrawal symptoms that come with getting off sugar. Sugar has been said to be far more addictive than cocaine. I understand that. And so I think that there's some easier ways to go about it that can help reduce the mood swings associated with detoxing off sugar, the energy levels, the headaches sometimes people get. All kinds of stuff. Sugar is a potent drug. Truly, it is. And refined sugar really doesn't do anything good for your body. It's in all kinds of things, bread, starches and processed floury foods and stuff like that. So anyways, so that's the why, so that we can be healthier and so that it doesn't stand in the way of our health goals. And now the how. The how is going to be, the easy way to quit sugar is going to be to not fully quit sugar. It's going to be to swap the unhealthy processed white stuff with the stuff naturally occurring in nature. Healthy sugars, real sugars that are good for your body and in moderation, are things like honey, real honey from bees, nothing added to it, no, non-processed. Real maple syrup, again, non-processed, so make sure it's 100% pure. And then things like dates and fruit is definitely going to be your go-to. I really suggest whole fruits, because they come with so much fiber. Juice is just really concentrating the sugars in fruit and ripping out all of the fibers. So unless you're doing a healthy juice, like that is combined with a lot of vegetables and stuff, then that's a little different than sucking down a 16-ounce glass of just straight orange juice. It's just a lot harder on your insulin and stuff. But the main goal this week is to just cut out the refined stuff. So I want you to substitute. If you are a soda drinker, that can be a little bit challenging. I want you to look into drinking, swapping that. So maybe if you haven't tried kombucha, I highly suggest you do. It's a gut healthy probiotic drink. It's less sugar because the good bacteria have eaten a lot of the sugar in there. So that's a good one. It's pretty expensive, so I would definitely cut back your consumption, but it's really good. I like just straight carbonated club soda with like lemon. That's my favorite. And if you're somebody who likes the baked things or candy, I actually have some really great substitute recipes that are on my blog, chakraboss.com. And you can find some of these substitutions. So I'm not going to give you any limits this week of how much you eat. You can do that yourself. You will find though that naturally when it doesn't have the refined sugar, you have a better ability to regulate how much you eat. It doesn't trigger as much of a binging effect, which says something. There's definitely a big difference between the real stuff and the processed stuff. Another note is to completely get any kind of artificial sweeteners out of your diet. This will probably be another week on its own if you're somebody that does artificial sweeteners, but they're absolutely terrible for you. So if you want to learn more about that, you can definitely look it up. There's a good documentary called Sweet Misery, all about aspartame and its effects on all kinds of things health oriented. So I definitely say get that stuff out. It messes with a lot of the function of your body too. It can really trick your insulin and all those things into not functioning properly. So the good thing about things like honey, so let's take honey for instance, is yes, it's high in sugar. If you're diabetic, you will want to be careful with counting your sugars just like you would in anything else. But the good thing about that is, one, it's a natural sugar, so your body can completely recognize what it is and where it comes from. It also is accompanied by a lot of nutrition. Bees live off honey all winter. That's the way they were intended to do it. They store it up all year and they live on it all winter. It is highly nutritious. So there's no refined version of sugar that's ever going to also give you, beneficial nutrients when you consume it. So that's where a lot of the recipes are going to be made out of things like that. Same with dates. Dates have a ton of health properties. They're extremely high in sugar. So again, be careful if you have an insulin problem. But this will be a lot easier on your body, a way to ease it kind of into lessening the sugar eventually over time. But right now you're just going to swap it and get the fake stuff out of there so your body can start processing the way it was supposed to. A big thing is just, it wants to understand what you're eating. So when you're giving it this processed or, man-made stuff, your body doesn't understand that. It understands what was created in nature, not what was created by man. So it's really important to just kind of do that. You'll see a huge difference in how you feel, and I promise it will be totally worth it. It can be really challenging. Sugar has always been my vice, but I've learned ways. I used to think I could never ever do it, and I went through so many days of quitting sugar for a few days and just suffering so badly, feeling like the world was over. Literally, it just felt so terrible, because I did it just the cold turkey way, whereas now I do the swap way. And so for the first week, you don't have to worry about how much alternative sugar you're eating, alternative choices for your sugar. So your healthy treats and your things, like I said, follow the recipes on my blog. So of those, you're not going to police how much you have, but you will probably eat less of those because your body recognizes it and it's better able to be satisfied with lesser amounts. After the first week, then maybe start kind of notating how much you're eating of that. Try and swap it more for whole fruit, which comes with fiber, and less of, the really sugary dates and, syrups and stuff like that. Even though they are a healthy source, you just kind of want to start reducing that. And then eventually, just pulling it back and just making your times and of the day. Maybe after lunch, you limit the amount that you have eventually after week 1 and so on and so forth. So that will kind of just help get some of that stuff out of your body, and it will help get your body more acclimated to whole foods, especially for, whole cheat foods. And you can save the refined stuff for a very special occasion. Right now, it's important to just get it all out. Eventually, someday, you'll be able to, at a birthday party or something, have a little bit here and there, and you'll be surprised actually about how it tastes to you and how your body actually responds to it. That's what's so impactful to me, is just how much my body really doesn't like that stuff normally. But if you get eating it regularly again, your body gets reacclimated, you start craving it again, and it starts infecting your entire body, so then you got to get it back out again. So if you have never done this before, you can totally do it. So like I said, if you have any questions, again, please subscribe on my YouTube channel, but follow my blog at chakraboss.com. You feel free to email me, and feel free to jump on my Facebook. I think it's under the Chakra Boss. But anyway, you can find me on there and you can interact a little bit online. I'll try and get back to as many people as I can, but please feel free to email message me, and I will at least try and address the common questions people have. So yeah, hope this helps. I'm excited about week 1, and thanks for being a part of it. We'll see you next week.